Do you ever get that feeling when you're out there with your rods or your pendulum, you're dowsing that energy and you're thinking, I've got this. I'm picking up on the vibes. I'm finding water. I'm finding chloric currents. I'm finding geometric shapes. Whatever it is you're looking for, boom, I'm a pro. I've got this. I totally get that. I understand that confidence is awesome and we need confidence when we're learning. But there is something I would be cautious about, and stick with me for a second with this, is that sometimes we just don't know what we don't know. This concept, of course, you may know, it's the Dunning-Kruger effect. And it sounds fancy, but it's just a way of saying that when you're new at something, like dowsing or healing your home or working with earth energy in the landscape, you might feel super confident because you haven't hit any bumps in the road in your learning. And you may not even know those bumps exist. You don't know what problems you're going to come up against. And trust me, I have tripped over plenty of them in my many, many years of dowsing for earth energy. I mean, when I started water dowsing, there were many times I was convinced that I had found the source of a water. It turned out to be an underground pipe. So, and this is where learning with somebody comes in. Someone who's been dowsing for years, working with earth energy for years, who's fallen really into every pitfall and made every mistake and come out the other side with wisdom to share. They've spent decades figuring out how to deal with the subtlest of energy shifts, how to monitor shifts with lunar phases, recognizing that there are some other cosmic events that interfere with things or to create changes, and how to use dowsing to avoid sort of false signals and false positive results, and really how to fine tune their intuition. Why spend years stumbling through the same mistakes that somebody else has already done when you can learn from theirs? I mean, sure, you can teach yourself to dowsing, of course you can, and you might get there eventually, but how long will that take? We can spend weeks, months, years, and then how will you even know what you're missing? Because you haven't got someone to point to the gaps in your knowledge. And that's the sneaky part. This is the Dunning-Kruger effect. You just don't know what you don't know. And a mentor, learning with someone about earth energy, because many people, get so far in their earth energy journey and they'll go dowsing and they'll map out sacred sites and they go, right, I've got a great diagram of what's going on there. But the next step is actually, what do you do with that energy? Because sacred sites, are a mechanism. They're a tool for achieving certain things within that area. So we can only understand what they do when someone has already, unpicked that knowledge and recreated stone circles or sites to see what they do, which is what I've done. So that's, this is the sneaky part. You don't know what you don't know. So a mentor who's done all that doesn't just teach you techniques. They also shine a light on the blind spots that you didn't even realise that you had. And we've all got blind spots. We're all continually learning. But if someone's already so far up the ladder, you can cut your learning in half. You can avoid all those frustrations of chasing dead ends, of wondering why you dowsed your house and why you made these changes and nothing actually changed. And you can, when you work with someone, you can get to the good stuff faster. Those moments when your, rods move and you've found something real. That's what a mentor does. That's what learning with someone does. They've walked the path, they've mapped the shortcuts, and they're ready to guide you. So, if you're ready to level up on your dowsing, don't go it alone. Find an expert, maybe me, who's been there, done that, and can help you skip out the rookie mistakes, because life is too short to reinvent the wheel. Let's dowse smarter, not harder. Dowse with someone who knows what they're doing. Learn, attend a course, join a local dowsing group, but make sure you're learning with someone who really knows their stuff. Because, as I say, you don't know what you don't know. Neither does the person teaching you. There are many things that I don't know, but you always want to learn with someone who learns that much more than you. So that's my tip. Be confident, but be aware that there are going to be gaps in the knowledge of your dowsing always.